Drama surrounded the Fall River School Committee last night as it voted to appoint a new superintendent of schools to replace the retiring Maria Ponce. The committee voted 5-1 to appoint current assistant superintendent and chief academic officer Dr. Tracy Curley to the position. Prior to the vote, the committee interviewed the 4 finalists forwarded to the board by a local screening committee. Each candidate was asked how they wanted to lead Fall River's public schools. Dr. David Thompson, current superintendent in Norwood, led off by saying he feels he can translate his successes in that community here to Fall River.
This is a good opportunity for me to continue the work around equity and inclusion. It's an opportunity for me to work on academic success in and around student outcomes. I am very focused on improving student outcomes and opportunities. I focus on ensuring that students are enrolled in programs, given feedback for growth, and use that so that every student has a pathway and a purpose as they leave our schools.
Dr. Curley said her learned experiences in the Fall River District will serve the community well.
That I'm from Fall River, and it's really what brought me here and brought me back. I grew up in the Fall River Public Schools. I grew up in the community. I grew up and lived in neighborhoods all over the city. I think I didn't know it at the time, whether I was different or the same as other kids in Fall River, but I've learned a lot about myself actually coming back on a whole diverse spectrum of upbringing and resources is help kids, support kids to grow, get better, be better.
East Bridgewater Superintendent Elizabeth Legault said her experience working in other school districts will suit her well here in Fall River.
I love public education. I want to be with kids, and I want to be with teachers all the time. And when you ask about who I am, if you'd ask, people would say, she loves kids, wants to be with kids, and wants to fix what we need to do for schools to make them better. My father was a teacher for 34 years. My mother was a teacher for 35 years. So public education is where I come from. And every child deserves an opportunity and access. But I also want to change the way we do things with teachers. We need to support them, we need to commit with them, and we need to strategize with them to continue our roles.
Fall River native and current Bristol Warren Superintendent Anna Riley said her cultural connection to the city makes her a strong candidate.
As an adult, I've come to appreciate everything my parents did to make this wonderful life that my siblings and I have. They worked really hard, got jobs. My dad had gone to school in Portugal, came here, had to get a degree translated, which meant coming all over again, which he did while we were all young and in school. And it was really something that's inspired me to believe in education and really see it as the great equalizer, something that will open the door for anyone. If you commit to it and you complete your education, it is the key that unlocks a successful future.
Passions ran high during the committee's deliberation. In supporting Dr. Curley, committee member Mimi Larrabee said her longtime connection to the district and her contribution to the current success of local schools gives her an edge over the other candidates.
I have to lean towards Dr. Curley because she does have a lot of experience in this district. She has learned from the best. She's had many opportunities to learn from the best. She has ample time to study under the people that have mentored her and have gotten her through the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years in this particular position. So I think it'd be an injustice not to let the team that is here now stay together and continue the work to lead us into the future and bring this district where it needs to be. I have the utmost confidence in Dr. Curley and the team that Maria has kind of formulated and started to build. I think it's time that we give them more time to work together.
The lone vote against Dr. Curley was cast by committee member Kevin Aguiar. He favored Ms. Riley, saying he was looking for a candidate who had previous experience as a sitting superintendent. He also questioned the selection process.
Dr. Curley is currently in the job, has 0 experience as a superintendent, 0, and other members had more. Ms. Riley has over 13 years' experience as a superintendent, several as a deputy commissioner of education. Her credentials are without comparison amongst anybody that came here before this interview. That's the reason why I'm passionate about the fact that I think we should be appointing her as the position. What we are doing, if this vote goes the way it is we're doing everything that we said to this public that we weren't going to do. We said we were going to hire the best candidate, but outside of politics. And if this vote goes the way it does now, if this vote goes today and Ms. Riley does not get the job as the most qualified candidate, it is very clear, it is very clear that this will be about politics, which is a problem, rather than the best candidate.
The accusation of favoritism did not sit well with committee member Shelley Pereira. She criticized Mr. Aguiar for changing his stance on how he appointed a superintendent in the recent past.
The last superintendent we had, I thought she's great. I think she's great. I think we all thought she was great. We unanimously voted for her. Where was she superintendent before she was superintendent here? What district did she work in? Anybody know? Oh, she didn't. We promoted her from in-house, and it wasn't an issue then.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't an issue then. I don't change my opinions because I have friends. And I'll be honest with you, if I was going to make a personal decision, it would be to vote for Anna because I've known her almost my whole life, and I think her and her family are amazing. But I'm not up here to make personal decisions. I'm up here to make the choice that I think is right, and I don't want to be criticized because you disagree.
Committee member Sarah Rodrigues also supported Ms. Riley. Following the elevated debate, she revealed her concern that not all students in the district will be served well by the current administration, and then released her frustration with the process.
I have not seen those specific changes in special education and social emotional learning that I personally am looking for. When I say personally, I'm talking about advocating for the 3,200 special education students in our district. That is a substantially higher number than any other district in the state, okay? So if I'm going to sit here and make a decision, my decision has to be based on what my values are in those pieces, and those are my values. I will not be a part of a discussion like this, and so the only last thing that I'm going to say is that effective immediately, I am resigning from this committee.
Ms. Rodrigues clarified her statements online following last night's meeting, stating, "As I stated tonight, effective immediately, I have resigned from my elected position on the Fall River School Committee. The outrageous behavior of the members of the school committee tonight showed me very clearly that I can be a stronger advocate and partner with families from outside the political realm. Hopefully, the committee can make some changes because no one can make effective change for our community under the current circumstances." The committee's next steps are to negotiate a contract with Dr. Curley with the hope she can start her role as superintendent on July 1st.